Wow. So she thought she was above you. She thought she was better than you because she was famous, according to her. Um, and thought that, well, since I'm better than you in this relationship, I should have an open relationship on my side, on one side. No. I'm glad you didn't stand for that and you walked away.
Subject: Thank you for helping me stay focused after my divorce. Hey, True, I hope you're doing well. Honestly, I wasn't even looking for anything when I stumbled across your channel. I was just aimlessly scrolling through YouTube one night, feeling a little numb after everything that happened. Randomly, your channel popped up in my recommendations. I clicked out of boredom at first, but man, I'm glad I did. Your videos gave me something I didn't know I needed: perspective. It's like listening to stories from a brotherhood of men from all around the world. I realized I wasn't alone, and that maybe, just maybe, I could get through this without losing myself. My name's Adam. I'm from Arizona. I guess I'll just start from the beginning. Meeting up with my dad. After the divorce mess started, I called my dad. His name is Bruce. Now, some background. My parents divorced when I was just an infant. I never knew the full story. Growing up, it was just one of those things I accepted without asking too many questions. Anyway, after everything went down with my ex, I asked him if he could meet me for lunch. I needed someone to talk to who might actually get it. We met up at this small diner we used to go to when I was a kid. I sat across from him, and after some small talk, I just spilled everything. No filter, no holding back. When I finished, he leaned back in the booth, looked at me for a long second, and then said, "Son, you'll be okay." He hugged me, and I can't explain it, but something about that hug broke something open inside me. It was like, for the first time in months, I actually believed it might be true. Then he said something I wasn't expecting. He told me the real reason why he divorced my mom. Turns out, it was because she cheated on him several times. He kept trying to make it work for me, but said at some point he realized that staying would only teach me the wrong things about what love and respect are supposed to look like. Hearing that shook me. I mean, all my life I thought my dad just bailed. That's what my mom made it sound like. But now I realize he was protecting both of us. Telling him, albeit about your channel. I told him about your channel, how listening to other guys' stories was giving me strength. He smiled and told me to keep listening, but to make sure I didn't just sit around getting bitter. He said, use this as fuel to become better, physically, mentally, spiritually. He encouraged me to take daily walks in nature, lift weights again, something I used to love but gave up during marriage, and start reading. He even recommended a book, The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. He said it changed his life back when he was picking up the pieces of his own. I picked up a copy that same night. I'm about halfway through it now, and I can already say it's one of the best things I've read. Simple, powerful, real. How I met Ava. Now about Ava, I really thought she was the one. We met at a church group. She was new there, freshly baptized, passionate about her faith, always talking about how God saved her. It honestly felt like divine timing. I was at a point in my life where I was tired of the party girls, tired of games. I wanted something real. She was beautiful, big brown eyes, warm smile, soft voice. She seemed humble, sweet, God-fearing, everything I thought I wanted. We dated for about a year and a half before I proposed. Got married after 2 years. At first, things were amazing. She cooked. She prayed with me. She made me feel like the luckiest man alive. But about 6 months into the marriage, the changes started, the shift. It was subtle at first. Little comments about being bored, about wanting to travel more and live a little. I thought it was just growing pains. People adjusting to married life. But then she started spending more and more time on her phone. At first, she was just posting about our life on Instagram. Then TikTok entered the picture. She got a little bit of attention there. A few thousand followers turned into 10,000 almost overnight. Suddenly, she wasn't just Ava, my wife. She was Ava the influencer. Disrespect. She started bragging about how guys from all over the world were offering her gifts, trips, jewelry, money. She even set up an Amazon wish list. Something I told her made me uncomfortable, and random dudes were buying her things I had told her we needed to budget for. I tried to talk to her about it, tried to explain how it made me feel like I wasn't enough for her. She laughed in my face and she said, and I quote, "You're my husband, but other men are spoiling me." Those words stuck to me like a knife in the ribs. The final straw. One night, after a particularly stupid argument, she was mad I didn't like one of her TikToks fast enough. She dropped a bomb. She said maybe we shouldn't have gotten married at all, that maybe she was meant for something bigger. She talked about how Nicki Minaj and other stars are allowed to have sidemen, and maybe we should have an open marriage, but only open for her. She said I should stay loyal, work, and pay the bills while she entertained herself because she was the star in the relationship. I didn't even argue. I didn't yell. I didn't even cry. I just stood up, grabbed what I could carry, and left. What she didn't know. What she didn't know was that I was literally about to surprise her with a pre-approval letter for a home loan. I had been busting my tail to save up for a down payment because she kept talking about wanting a bigger space. I had planned to take her out to dinner, show her the letter, celebrate. Instead, I was dragging my duffel bag full of clothes down 3 flights of stairs while she was upstairs packing for a fantasy life that didn't include me. As I was leaving, she said, "Just take a couple of days and think about it. Maybe you'll see it my way." I didn't answer. I just kept walking, talking to my dad again. That's when I called my dad and had that life-changing conversation I mentioned earlier. Afterward, I called a divorce lawyer the next morning. I laid it all out, the TikTok fame, the open marriage proposal, the disrespect, everything. The first thing the lawyer asked was, "Are there any kids involved?" I said, "No, thank God." That's when it really hit me. We had been talking about starting a family just months before. I dodged a bullet, the fallout. The lawyer explained the divorce process in Arizona, told me to serve her and move my stuff out officially. I tried to go back to the apartment a few days later to get more of my things. That's when Ava had a meltdown. She was crying when I walked in. Said she was banned from TikTok for a month because someone reported her for violations. She was more upset about losing TikTok than losing her marriage. I told her, "Oh, okay," and kept moving my stuff out, trip after trip. She screamed, accused me of being jealous of her fame. The whole time, she never once asked me to stay for us. It was always about her TikTok, her followers, her gifts, the "I'm pregnant" bomb. As I was about to pull out of the parking lot, she banged on my car window, said she was pregnant. I didn't roll down the window. I didn't even respond. I just backed out and drove to my dad's house. Later, she started blowing up my phone, texts, missed calls, voicemails. He sent a picture of a positive pregnancy test. At first, I panicked. Yeah, it could have been mine. We had been intimate not long before all this blew up. But then I thought, who knows how many men she was entertaining behind the scenes. The divorce battle. A few weeks later, Ava called me sobbing. Said she hated that she got served divorce papers. Said she realized she was losing the love of her life. I stayed calm and told her, "You're free now. See you in court." Eventually, my lawyer told me Ava got her own lawyer. At the first court hearing, Ava's lawyer demanded child support immediately because she was pregnant. But the judge wasn't having it. The judge postponed the divorce until the baby was born and paternity could be confirmed. Ava refused prenatal paternity testing, so we waited. The birth and paternity test. When she had the baby, I wasn't allowed in the hospital room, but thank God the judge ordered the paternity test as soon as possible. Samples were collected while the baby was sleeping. A week later, my lawyer called me. "You're not the father." I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Relief poured over me like rain after a drought. The final hearing. At the final hearing, Ava's lawyer tried to get me to pay her legal fees. The judge denied it. Then Ava, crying like she was auditioning for a bad reality show, asked the judge for counseling support, basically begging for money because she was now a single mom with no fame and no job. The judge looked her dead in the eye and said, "Ma'am, my mother raised 3 boys alone. You'll be fine." Just like that, it was over. Divorce granted. No kids, no alimony, no ties. Where I am now. I shook hands with my lawyer, walked out of that courthouse, and promised myself 2 things. I will never compromise my self-respect for anyone again. I will build a life so good that I won't even remember the storm that tried to drown me. Now, I'm lifting weights again, reading books, walking every day, learning to enjoy my own company. Your videos are a part of that healing, man. Hearing men around the world share their heartbreak, survival, and comebacks reminds me I'm not broken. I'm just getting started. Thanks for reading this long email, and thank you again for doing what you do. You help save me more than you'll ever know. Much respect, Adam. Subject: Update from Adam. New beginnings and some heavy news about Ava. Part 2. Hey, brother, it's Adam again. I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to send you an update like you asked for if anything new happened. And man, a lot has happened, both good and bad. I also noticed that the first email wasn't posted. Did I miss it? Let me know. First, the good stuff. After everything went down with Ava and I got through the divorce and paternity drama, I decided I needed to seriously rebuild my life from the ground up. I started taking my dad Bruce's advice to heart. I mean, really taking it to heart this time, not just nodding along. I started lifting again, walking in nature, reading like my life depended on it. I finished the 4 Agreements like he suggested, and then started reading Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Those 2 books kind of lit a fire under me. One night, maybe 3 months after the divorce was finalized, my dad and I were sitting outside on his porch. It was late, the stars were out, and we were just talking about life. He told me, "Son, I'm proud of you. Most men fold after what you just went through. You didn't. You're still standing." Hearing that from him meant more than he'll ever know. And then he said something that really changed the course of things. He looked at me and said, I've been thinking about getting back into woodworking. You ever think about that? Building something real with your hands again?" At first, I thought he was just reminiscing. You see, back in the day, my dad used to be a pretty incredible carpenter. He did custom casework, built high-end cabinets, shelving, you name it. He loved it, but life happened, and he left it behind. Divorce, single fatherhood, needing a steady paycheck. He had to take a regular 9 to 5 to keep food on the table. But something about the idea stuck with me. I told him, what if we actually did it? Like for real, not just as a hobby, but as a business. He laughed at first like I was joking, but when he saw I was serious, he sat up straight. "You mean start our own shop?" he asked. "Yeah," I said. "Let's build something real." And that's how BNA Woodworks was born. BNA stands for Bruce and Adam. Simple, but it felt right. We started small. We cleared out his garage, bought some secondhand equipment, a jointer, a table saw, a planer. It was rough, nothing fancy. A lot of the tools were older than me. At first, it was just weekend projects. Building cutting boards, coffee tables, some basic shelves. We posted some photos on Facebook Marketplace and our local community page. We didn't expect much, but brother, it blew up. People loved our work. Orders started coming in faster than we could handle. Someone asked us for custom cabinets for their laundry room. Then another person wanted a built-in bookshelf. Pretty soon we had to buy a trailer just to haul materials back and forth. One of the biggest moments happened when a local real estate agent found us online. She messaged us and said she stages homes for sale and needed custom staging furniture. Pieces that look great but are affordable because they'll be moved around a lot. She asked if we could make her some. We said yes, and that turned into a steady gig. It's been almost 6 months now, and we're already outgrowing the garage. We're about to sign a lease on a small commercial unit in town. Nothing crazy, about 1,500 square feet, but it's ours. We even have a waiting list for bigger casework projects for the fall. I can't lie to you, man. Working side by side with my dad has been one of the best things that's ever happened to me. After all the lies, the betrayal, the heartbreak, it's like I found a part of myself I didn't even know was missing. There's something about building something with your hands, the smell of fresh sawdust, the sound of a perfectly clean saw cut, that's just good for the soul. And getting to spend that time with my dad, hearing his old stories, learning all his tricks, it's priceless. Sometimes he'll just look over at me in the shop and nod, like he's proud. Other times we don't say a word, just work. It's peaceful. It's honest. It's real. But now, on to the not so great news. I wasn't sure if I should even bother talking about Ava anymore. Honestly, I thought I was done. But sometimes life has a way of dragging you back into unfinished business, whether you want it or not. About 2 weeks ago, I ran into Ava's cousin, let's call her Jasmine, at the grocery store. I almost didn't recognize her. I was grabbing some protein bars, just minding my own business when I hear, "Adam? Oh my God, is that you?" I turned around and there she was. I didn't really want to talk, but she kind of cornered me. At first, it was small talk. How are you? How's your dad? That kind of thing. But then she said something that made me stop. She said, "I owe you an apology." I was confused. She went on to tell me that she was one of the few people who actually knew what Ava was really up to the entire time we were married. And she said she just couldn't carry the guilt anymore after everything that happened. She's asked if I had time to sit down and talk. I figured, why not? So we grabbed coffee right there in the store's little cafe area. Brother, what Jasmine told me, it hit me like a truck. I thought I knew how bad things were. I didn't know the half of it. Turns out, Ava wasn't just basking in male attention online. She was actively soliciting it. Jasmine said Ava had secret VIP Snapchat accounts where she was getting money from men, sending them pictures, private videos, even doing custom requests for money. I almost threw up right there. Jasmine said Ava used to brag about how stupid men were for sending her hundreds of dollars just to talk to her. She even joked that being married made her more desirable online because men loved the forbidden fruit aspect. She said Ava would laugh and call me the sponsor because I was paying the bills while she had fun, like I was some idiot sugar daddy and didn't even know it. It gets worse. Jasmine said Ava had multiple sponsors sending her gifts, not just random followers buying things off Amazon. Actual married men wiring her cash through Cash App and Venmo. She even admitted that some of the stuff she brought into our apartment, the new shoes, the expensive purses she claimed were on sale, were paid for by these other men. Not by her, not by hard work, by selling pieces of herself to the highest bidder. And the pregnancy? Jasmine said there's a strong chance it wasn't mine from the beginning. Apparently, Ava had been messing around with some guy from her TikTok group, a collaborator she used to meet up with under the excuse of filming content. Yeah, content, all right. I sat there stunned. I didn't even know what to say. It was like being punched in the face by the truth. And Jasmine, she wasn't saying all this to be petty. She was crying too. She said she tried to warn Ava that she was throwing away the best man she ever had. She said she couldn't believe how far Ava had fallen, how greedy and selfish and broken she had become chasing clout and attention. At the end, Jasmine told me, "You deserve to be free of all this. I just wanted you to know it wasn't your fault. You were a good man. Ava just wasn't ready to be a good woman." I shook her hand, thanked her, and walked away. When I got to my truck, I just sat there for like an hour, staring at the steering wheel. Part of me was furious, part of me was sad, but mostly, I just felt free, like, finally, the last piece of the puzzle clicked into place. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't wrong for leaving. If anything, I should have left sooner. Since that day, I haven't heard a word from Ava. The few mutuals we had tell me she's struggling hard, lost her accounts, burned her bridges. Family is tired of her drama. Baby's father, still unknown. Reality hit her like a freight train. But I don't take pleasure in it. I'm not sitting here laughing. Honestly, I feel bad for the kid more than anything else. That child deserves better. But Ava made her choices. Now she's living with them. Me? I'm living a life I never thought I'd have. I'm healthy. I'm strong. I'm building something real, a business, a bond with my dad, a future. I'm meeting good, solid people. Other small business owners, other craftsmen, even a few good women who actually seem normal. Ha ha. I'm taking my time though. No rush into anything. Your channel was one of the big things that kept my mind right through all of this. Hearing other men's stories, realizing I'm not alone. It made all the difference. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And to any other man listening to this right now thinking his life is over after betrayal, brother, it's not over. It's just the beginning. You just have to be strong enough to walk away from the fire and into the forge. Let it make you stronger. Let it refine you. Don't let it destroy you. Thanks for reading this. I'll send another update if anything crazy happens. Hopefully no more drama though, haha. Stay blessed.
Good for you. Salute to you and your father, man. I wish you all the best. Yeah, when I did reply to you, I was because I wish you guys the best, man, in your woodworking company. Again, if you want to send updates or anything, continue to send them. That'll be amazing. We'd love to hear it, whether it's about you and your father's company or whatever it is. I like to know what you guys are up to still, I like to know how you're doing. So salute to you guys. If you want to send in a story, send it to truestorynation@gmail.com. Here, I'll put it on the screen. That's truestorynation@gmail.com. I'm gonna catch you guys at the next one.